Hello, this is Sandeep Bhatia of Beaumont Law Practice Solicitors, and I am recording this on the 14th of July. A week or so ago, Rishi Sunak announced that the furlough scheme under the Coronavirus Job Retention Scheme would be coming to an end at the end of October and would not be extended, although he did announce a few concessions to firms who were taking back employees who had been on furlough. But for many firms, it is now crunch time because they may feel that they have to make redundancies in order to keep going. This is particularly so when in August, firms will need to start making a contribution towards furlough for their employees before the scheme finishes at the end of October. So I thought today that I would talk redundancy. It's not a pleasant subject, but it's a harsh reality that many firms will have to confront as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. Now, whether your firm is large or small, there are many considerations to be taken into account. If you are making more than 20 redundancies, then you have to, by statute, comply with certain considerations, which are that there is a duty to consult with a union rep or with an elected employee rep, and the consultation period, if between 20 and 99 employees are going to be made redundant from the same site, is 30 days, and that rises to 45 days if there's more than 100 employees being made redundant at any one time. So that doesn't apply if a business is making less than 20 employees redundant. However, there are matters you need to take into consideration if you don't want to find yourself in front of an employment tribunal, because a employment tribunal will expect that in making selections for redundancy, a business acts in a fair way. And what do I mean by a fair way? Well, there are a multitude of cases and case decisions and guidance which gives us some idea as to what a fair procedure comprises. The first thing to say is that you should give your employees as much notice as possible about the fact that you intend to make redundancies. That is that they can take on board the information, they can seek alternative employment if necessary, or they can think of ways to respond to a consultation redundancy and can possibly think of ways of avoiding that consultation redundancy. So a very good idea also is to involve your staff in the decision-making procedure. Come up with ideas about how you initially plan to make redundancies, but be prepared for those to be shifted by staff suggestions. So a very good idea to kick the procedure off is to have a staff meeting and to tell the employees what you're planning, how many redundancies, the time frame, and answer any of the questions that they have. You also will need to think about what areas of your business you're going to make redundancies from. If it's only certain parts of your business, you have to think about a pool of selection of those who are going to be made redundant. You need to be very careful about how you select that pool. Is it for the people who do that particular task in your business, or are others with interchangeable skills or abilities to do that task also, do they need to be part of the pool for redundancy selection? Those are the kind of questions that you need to ask. You may think about several ways of doing it and decide what is the best one. in the sense of, does it mean a lesser number of redundancies, or the effect on the business? Look at different options and make sure you note the making of those different options. Also, when you are considering who in that pool to select for redundancy, you need selection criteria. You need to judge everybody by the same yardstick. You need, so far as possible, to use selection criteria which are objective and measurable. By that I mean, I can give you a few examples such as disciplinary record, skills, experience, standard of work, aptitude, efficiency, references. So judge everyone by the same yardstick in setting those selection criteria. You need to write to staff to tell them they are part of the redundancy pool. You need to advise them that they're going to be consulted personally if you're not subject to the statutory duty of consultation that applies to 20 employees or more. And you need to meet with them on an individual basis. You need to explain what's happening. You need to give them the option to suggest alternatives from redundancy. You need to listen with an open mind to what they have to say. The name of the game here is to show that you are, so far as possible, considering alternatives to redundancy. And really, it is better to take other measures if you can do so. And a tribunal may well expect that you would consider those other options. What other options do I mean by that? Well, can you get rid of discretionary benefits in order to keep staff on? Can you reduce redundancy? Can you reduce overtime so that less money is going out? Are there other options, other things that you can do other than making those redundant? Anyway, once you've had the personal meetings, you've gone through the selection criteria, and you've made the decision about who you're going to make redundant, write to them. It is a good idea to give them the ability to appeal the decision, even though there's no right in law for that to be offered to them. You want to be seen to be being as fair as you possibly can. So provide appeal provisions if at all possible, and do not forget to document everything so it's available if a tribunal wants to check on it. So I hope that is helpful. Obviously, in a video of this kind, it can only be very general advice. If you want specific advice, then please feel free to contact me. My name is Sandeep Bhatia of Beaumont Law Practice Solicitors. We are based in South Harrow. My telephone number of my firm is 0208 868 1614. My personal email is Sandeep, that's SUNDEEP .Bhatia, BHATIA, at Beaumont, that's BEAUMONDE -law.co.uk. Thank you very much for listening. I hope I can be of some assistance to you in the future. Please do not hesitate to get in touch. Thank you.